get the right developer, you get the right, the good coder, put them together, and voila, you have a gaming opportunity.
Wonderful. So that means there is still hope for those people who are creative geniuses, but they are very weak in mathematics. Okay, right. But would they have to do a gaming diploma or something like that?
Well, if you're talking about the guy who's writing the story, no. Well, the guy who's actually going to do the coding, yes.
All right, Vernon. So, yes, so that our youth are clear. You know, for example, during these days, many of our youth have some sort of few moments of free time. And there are lots of these organizations in Mapsa, Tanjim, Maraga, Wasco, where they offer you different kinds of things like MIT and NIIT. Is that really valid in terms of a qualification or things like that if you do a program, say, for 3 months, 6 months, or what is your view on that?
Well, basically, organizations like you mentioned are very good when it comes to short-term courses. For example, I know that MIT runs a lot of courses which are helpful for graduates of not just IT, but various other fields to basically enhance the skills. So even if you're not doing anything this summer, you could always walk into these organizations, and maybe these organizations can get your skills and get you ahead of the competition. So that's one thing that we could do up over here. Like you mentioned, 3-month course, 6-month course. It's all about how much you require. Because if you have an existing IT degree, you could enhance it with a short-term course. Where you're coming in from a graduate of a different field altogether, you can still do an IT course because that's always going to help yourself in this industry. That's basically it.
Thank you, Vernon. Now, another question. There is a child who tried very, very hard to do the GCET and to get into engineering, and that also IT. They did not make it. Would you advise that person to go for a diploma in computer engineering in the Polytechnic, or would you advise that person to do BCA, that is Bachelor in Computer Application? What is your advice?
Well, a person who completed his 12th standard and has done his GCET, the options are basically again depending upon your interest area. If you like to use IT in a particular industry or in a particular way, then you could choose the BCA course. Where the diploma in computer engineering revolves around a lot of the hardware usage, a lot of the usage towards the software used towards the hardware. So it's basically more hardware related compared to software related. So in other words, if you have an inclination towards software, do BCA. If you have an inclination towards hardware, do diploma in computer engineering.
Just to conclude that little batch, the thing, I have sometimes something wrong with my computer. Remember, I ring up a couple of these guys who do these things. They charge me about $300-500 at a time. I mean, I think that's quite criminal actually, quite heavy in terms of the cost that for a half-an-hour job. What kind of qualification do they have?
Well, to begin with, if you're looking at someone who's actually going to repair a computer, it could even be a diploma in computer engineering. But you also have the ITI courses, which actually help you in computer assembling and things like that. So a person who perhaps has completed his SSE and has done an ITI course can actually even help you with the computer.
Okay, one last question before we wind up the show. Vernon, it has been very instructive. Thank you very, very much. But just to wind up this little program, can I ask you one piece of, can I request you one thing? What is your advice to a student who is very, very strong in math and physics and another student who is tremendously gifted with creativity talent? Should they both be in the IT world, or what should they be? Probably one in the IT world and one in the art world. What is your thinking?
Well, a person who's strong in math and physics, he could go a long way in developing various kinds of applications to make our life comfortable in the future. And for example, today we could withdraw money from any ATM in the world. In India, it's for free. I could take my ICICI ATM and go to the HDFC ATM, and it's for free at this moment that I withdraw. Why? Because there's a will and there's a IT. Now, if a person is strong in math and physics, he could use his talent to develop more and more such applications towards it. Moving on to the guy who is actually fairly creative and is always bustling with ideas. the best thing that he could do is perhaps introduce or get himself into perhaps a fine arts kind of a course and use IT in his office, in his
Right, okay. Well, then, it has been very refreshing to have you. Thank you so much, and all the best in your business.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hope that 30 minutes of IT can give you direction as to what you want to do with your career. As always, if there is anything that you'd like to know about IT or anything with regards to careers, you can always send us an email. The email address, as always, is careers, spelled careers.go365@gmail.com. As we will be come up with different episodes, we'll be talking about hospitality. There is also, of course, you just need to stick around and tune in to Go365. That's it for this episode. Do tune in again this coming week when next we go on with Career Path. That's it for me, Jeffrey Manuel, and Basil Vicuna saying goodbye.